Um, so what I'd like to do is kind of jump around on the agenda since Tamara's on, and I would like to go straight to the subcommittee updates with Mary and Tamara. So Tamara, if you want to go ahead and give us some updates.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys have been past the site, but our excavators, Digger and Scoops,
Woo!
are working hard. So glad I named the excavators because a lot of people are liking the names on our social media. But
Yeah.
they're hammering and digging away at the ledge. There's quite a high water table on the property, so we are going to be pumping the water out probably 24/7 for a little bit so we can get that space ready for the foundation and you know so right now we do have our first volunteer group scheduled for June 1st. It's part of Women's Build, which is happening June 1st through June 15th. We do have a couple of slots left for Women's Build if you know of any groups that I should reach out to. At this point, no, I am willing to accept our regular build day fees for $2,500. I was hoping with Women's Build we would amp up the fundraising a little bit, but I am still hoping to have shirts made, but I'm waiting for the last two sponsors to hopefully drop in those slots. But from then on, we're planning on building with groups and with individuals Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays in Cohasset. And yeah, we're just really excited to actually be starting the work where volunteers can help us out. We did have our Framing the Future event on Thursday at Granite Lakes. It went really well. The fund need is going towards both the Cohasset build and our Easton build. That's, going to start around the same time, probably a little bit later in July at this point until we get Cohasset kind of running on all cylinders. So we are kind of closing in on our budget for Cohasset, at least the money that we have committed to raise in cash. I am still looking for in-kind donations as they come up. I wanted to thank, I think it was Susan who made a ask to Hingham Lumber. They've been pretty unresponsive to me, but I do understand that she asked for the bathroom vanities from them, which is, great. Every bit counts. And that's kind of where we are. We're just excited to kind of get started now that the water lines are taken care of. And, we've worked with our neighbor to figure out the easements. And yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have for sure.
Terrific. I actually went by the site yesterday, so I thought the excavator was bigger than the property.
Well, yes, I mean, Sherry certainly has the challenges. We are, she's very diligent about when we're receiving materials because there's actually not much room on the site to store materials. So, like I said, we're not going to be building a full basement. It's going to be a 5-foot storage area with access obviously from a bulkhead. But I spent the day yesterday with Aaron and Will, our homeowners, at a golf tournament to benefit South Shore Habitat in Canton. So they're just so super excited. They felt very welcome by the community so far. They attended the gala as well. And I saw them. Oh, and they were at the golf tournament yesterday, like I said. So they're just very excited and very appreciative of all the support.
Awesome. Beth, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I was just going to ask when you talk about the groups like the women's build group, how many people are in the group? Does it matter?
Oh,
or-
so it's 10 people,
Yeah.
for a group build. We do ask that you fill all 10.
Okay.
But, if you can't and you can commit to 5, we'll fill half of it with 5, and we'll find another group of 5 to, make it a full group, but, 10 is the magic number that, Sherry plans for. When we don't have a corporate build, we open it up to volunteers. There's no fee at all to volunteer as an individual. But the corporate builds are a wonderful way for us to raise money for the project, and all corporate build monies go to that specific project. At the golf tournament yesterday, we had, a live auction item for a corporate build. And 6 people were bidding back and forth, so we ended up booking 6 different builds, for the property, at over $8,000. So, we're pretty pleased with that.
Oh, good.
Okay.
But if anyone knows of any, I'm happy to send you guys our flyer if you want to, send it out to folks. I
Yeah, if you
believe
could.
I
Yeah,
did
Yeah,
that
go
would-
ahead.
All right.
Please email the flyers, yeah, because we've had people tell us from time to time that they would help out, whether it's the,
Yeah,
some of the sports teams or
yeah,
some of the
yeah,
other,
you have to be
groups, yeah.
16 to build on site.
Yep.
But, we would love for, for a sports team like that, it's a $500 donation. But, we're willing to work with anyone who can't do that as well.
Okay,
All right, that sounds good. But yeah, that'd definitely be helpful if you could mail some information that we could use.
Okay, well, I'll send it via email, and if you need me to put it, I'm happy to put several in an envelope and mail it to.
No, I meant email.
Email, okay, great.
You can print it.
Well, some people can, some people can't,
Yeah,
it's-
no, but yeah, I meant email. That'd be good.
Yep, yeah, should I just be emailed to Cassandra so she could, because I don't want to break any of your laws.
Yeah, that'd be good.
My printer isn't working, so I might need the snail mail, sorry.
It's okay.
any questions, Mary?
No, I appreciate it. As you might have heard, I had COVID. I was out of commission for a while, and
Yeah, I'm
Just-
so sorry to hear that. Are you feeling better, Mary?
yeah, much better, but it hit me hard for a while, and I just, anyway, but here I am, I'm back again. I've got, I'm starting my to-do list up again. And, thanks for Tamar for, holding the fort for a couple of weeks, and, she, I'll work with her. We had talked maybe about not doing the farmer's market, but, I'm wondering at this point if we do at least 1 or 2 sessions of that, just to reintroduce people.
Yeah, Michelle is definitely up for us being there.
Okay,
It's just with all the work I'm doing, I don't know if you heard, but Melissa Boynton, our volunteer coordinator, has left, and I'm taking on her role until we fill that as well. And I just can't afford to be away from the office that amount of time, but if we have volunteers who are willing to help out, especially from this group, I would absolutely love it.
okay,
It just puts us out there in a way that, I think was really special. In addition, I know that Mary talked to you guys about maybe hosting a quote unquote house party for us, bringing some people that might support our organization, and we could do a little program. Kind of reintroducing themselves now that, the work is being done. Again, when we do a model like this, the group pretty much takes on the planning and the invitations and getting people there. But I would certainly be there and be willing to talk and to ask and to answer any questions that people have.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to do the farmer's market, because if we have some collateral material now that says, here, fill this out, volunteer, and here are the dates, Thursday,
Mhm.
Friday, Saturday in June or July. Then
But
that,
we're booking, June is almost full. And certainly,
Oh,
and
really? Oh.
we're gonna be doing this, for a year, so we have plenty of dates.
terrific.
I had promised to try to find a location for some kind of event, so I will, I will pursue that now that I'm back a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, even the senior center, Mary, it's something, I mean, it doesn't have to be super fancy. It's really just about getting people that, you're willing to share your passion with.
Okay. We could do that. I know a couple of people on the board, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, wherever we can get it rolling. So, it'd be a good opportunity, especially, with some of the groups that said they would love to help, there's, quite a few of them I recall, so.
Yeah,
I know summer's the time
we
where
can
they
do sign-ups
disappear.
right on the spot. We can, I've been giving out my card everywhere to the point that I'm ordering new cards this week, which is exciting.
Good for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think I sent out I gave out over 1,000 cards this last year, which is crazy. But
So you're
it's-
you're gonna have a volunteer group on site, June
June 1st.
1st. And what do you think they'll be doing?
Not sure yet because I'm not sure you're a construction manager. The issue is, we have to finish the foundation, let it dry or cure, as I think is the right word.
Yeah.
So in the case that we cannot have them on site, because we do have them booked, we could send them to Easton to do some brush removal at
Yeah.
this point, but there's not much to do except, start building the walls if we can. I mean,
Oh, okay. Oh,
we're
cool.
pretty close to a wall raising. We'd like to do
Yeah.
some sort of wall raising ceremony, which we have not done in the past at our affiliate, but in Springfield where Sherry was, they did them quite often. So it's another opportunity to get some press there, to really have some fun with, some great photos. And people really see the work kind of being started, But I think seeing, like I said, Scoops and Digger make it really fun for people.
Okay, cool.
I saw are the excavators there? They're not in kind, right? You have to pay for those, correct?
We do have to pay for them, but they are giving us a significant discount.
Great, okay.
They've been very, very patient with us too. We booked them about over a year ago
wow.
to do the job. So, and then they were in Randolph, I think, for a good like 3 or 4 months, and they really tried hard to get us back on the schedule as soon as possible after we figured out the water line. So, this is my first start of a project, and I am learning quite a bit that things get delayed
Oh, yeah.
at all different levels of involvement, but that's a construction business. And especially when we're counting on the goodwill of people, they're gonna do our best, but if they have a client that's paying 100%, they're gonna choose that client.
Right. And then the weather,
And then the weather, yes.
and the ledge.
Yeah, the water was the biggest issue because you do all that testing beforehand and you figure the water table is, a certain height. And then you realize it's 3 feet higher. It's a big deal.
Wow,
I think all the water, right now, the water tables are just very high because of all the rain we've
All
had.
the rain,
All the
exactly.
reservoirs and everything,
Yeah.
they're all
Yeah,
tip-top full. Yeah,
but one thing, since I do have you all gathered, and I know unfortunately Justin has left the town offices. I don't know if a new communications person has been hired, but Chris Senior said he would put an update from the Affordable Housing Committee in his weekly update with with what's going on, but it cannot be submitted by me. It has to be submitted through one of you.
okay,
But I'm happy to share that information. We are having a staff meeting tomorrow. I'm going to remind Sherry about this. So we can get you regular updates. I just need to understand how the best way to get that to you and to whom and the timing around that, so we could be consistent.
Great.
I think if you wanted to send like a little write-up to me, I can forward
Okay.
it to our new communication specialist.
Okay, you have one, that's great.
Yes.
And so when is stuff due for that weekly update?
I'm not sure the exact deadline, but I would imagine that he would like things in hand no later than, say, Monday afternoon to get posted for that week.
Okay, because I think I usually get them on like Wednesdays, right?
It may have changed. I'm not sure. I could follow up with him
Okay.
to see when he prefers things.
Okay, and
Can you, Tamar, can you copy me, Mary, on
yeah,
on
I
that?
will copy you and Cassandra on
Yeah,
these things.
I can put it on 143.
But my goal would be to have a construction update, a thank you for those groups or individuals that have helped, and kind of the week looking forward.
Okay.
And of course, a call to action.
That'd be
And
great.
that way I can do it forward to 143 and then try to get a
Yeah,
little more.
and I will be posting on Facebook and Instagram. So please follow us on those two sites, and then please forward it as you see fit to your, if you are active on social media, which I'm learning to be, but you know, it'd be great to make sure all those sites have it. The more they see us,
Yeah, great. Very
Yeah.
exciting.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Anything else for us tomorrow?
No, I just want to make sure you feel like you're being updated, and please call me whenever you have questions.
You know, I'm thinking if we could probably you know, if the senior center you know, when the weather gets better, they have an outside space too. So you know, maybe we wait until, you know, late June, you know, hopefully before people do vacations, but you know, sort of after, maybe that third week after school gets out, maybe do something
Yeah,
there.
that's fine. Yeah, that way you just do like some cookies and lemonade and call it done.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Is that okay?
Yep. Would have to see if that works for the community center or the Wolcott.
Yeah.
Well, we have two board members and the wife of the board chair, so I have a feeling we can move things around.
Figure something out.
Yeah, I think the biggest piece of the success is you guys bringing people that are interested. You know, it's
Yeah.
not just an open forum, it's please come with me to this. And
Yeah.
then you get a good group of people around you.
Do you have a sample of what we might use for, you know, like verbiage or
Sure.
text people usually send, or
Yep.
just something to get folks started?
Send sample to Mary. Yep, I will send the sample to you. I am out of the office most of tomorrow, but I'll make sure I do it by Friday. Okay?
Well, yeah, okay, and I've got to book a space and everything too first too, please, so, great.
Great.
So
Oh.
we're, yeah, so, the other change that's coming too is, Fred Coed is going to be, taking the position of, the, 60 Elm Street seat on our board,
Oh,
which is the
great.
housing authority, yeah. And then Susan is going to take the regular open seat that we have.
Oh.
On that, so, and,
Great.
Fred's a former select board member, and, he's been on a lot of different committees in town, so he can help us get some of this word out as well.
Great.
Good.
Oh, that's great news. Thanks, Paul.
Anything else for tomorrow? Because I know she's got to run.
I think we're good. Yeah, we're looking
Yeah.
forward to get the material, see what we can do.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank
Yes,
you
it is.
guys so much. I will email Cassandra and Mary on Friday.
Awesome.
Good luck with the end of the school year tomorrow. I've
Well,
been there.
thank you. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the kid. Oh, I should actually let you guys know that I will be in Hull, which is closer to you guys for the summer. So,
Nice.
we'll
That'll be
have to
fun.
hang out and we're gonna have to hang out in Nantasket Beach or something.
Cool.
I mean, I understand that I could walk to the property.
I
You
know,
could,
well, it's,
Yeah.
yeah, that's West Corner, so it's Hingham, Hull and Cohasset all over the
Yeah,
shop.
yeah, I'm renting, I have a very weird housing situation, but I am renting just for 60 days.
Oh,
Right
cool.
off Nantasket Ave,
Awesome.
overlooking the bay, so I'm looking at a summer retreat. You're all
Cool.
welcome. We'll have to have a little party there.
That'll be a good summer for you. It's
Yeah.
fun.
I hope so, I mean.
It's a
we'll
fun
see.
place. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun in the summer for sure.
Yeah, all right, thanks so much,
Good.
guys, appreciate
Okay,
it,
thanks,
All
Tamara.
right, take care.
bye.
Thank you. Okay, so the next thing on the agenda is the affordable housing development sites and general updates. So there really isn't any more general updates that I know of. I did, go to the, Housing Trust meeting, this month, and, the updates that I gave them are very similar to what we have, which is we still haven't heard from One Pleasant Street on their final plans, though we know it's going to be 4 units as it stays condominiums. And we still haven't heard from the gentleman down on South Main Street, 147, I think it is. Though you'll see the 4 rent signs up there, but we haven't to see what his plans are. He was gonna rent out the unit at the affordable rate on his own and still proceed with trying to get the state process done, though, it takes a while. So that's what he was doing. He had some banking things that he was working on as well. So he had some other priorities on the property, but that's what his last conversation with us was. We heard there was new ownership at 55 South Main, which is the gas station, but I'm not sure about anything that has been done there. We heard there was new owners. I know
They
they
had
bought it.
They had somebody drive into the building, so I'm sure that's setting everybody back.
Yeah. So I'm not sure where that stands. I'm sure we'll find out from the planning board at some point. Somebody will go in front of them to say, hey, I'm the new owner.
Okay.
And then, of course, the certain amount of the zoning bylaws are going to be on the warrant at town meeting, which is coming up on June 3rd. And so I'm sure there'll be some questions on it, but however that works out, we'll be able to kind of adapt to what those are and then see if anything happens thereafter. I did have a discussion with some folks that own some property on Beechwood that want to work with the housing trust on getting a piece of town land that's not buildable and add it to his lot that is buildable, and then put some affordable housing on that lot. So
What
I
part of
just have
oh, sorry. What part of Beechwood?
on Beechwood Street itself.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Up on the Beechwood end or the other end?
on the Beechwood side. Yep.
Okay,
And on the Shaw's side of things.
okay.
The other thing we talked about is the town had acquired quite some time ago the Esposito facility of land on the corner of Pond Street and 3A for the purpose of possibly building, a fire station and police station combination unit there. And since they purchased the property on, Lower King,
Yeah.
that property now still remains owned by the town, so we need to. We talked about seeing if that property should be transferred to the trust, and then, you know, is it buildable? So, that's the job they feel is the responsibility of our committee, which it is. So,
We're supposed to figure out if it's buildable?
yeah, so we would get together with the
Building inspector.
building inspector to say, hey, John, here's the lot. It's got, you know, 5 acres. You know, 3 of it's wetlands, 2 of it's buildable, you know, whatever the range is on that. And then to see if that's something that we want to pursue. If the land transfers to the trust, do they want to sell it to the conservation outdoor space people or something? And, you know, we get cash that goes into the trust. Or is
Oh.
that something that's definitely buildable where you would want to build something on it? Habitat expressed an interest in building other units in town. Rather than going to CPC for additional funding for 808, they would rather take a look at some other property in town and then look at seeing if there's something they could do there. So those are the,
In place of what they've committed for 808 or in addition?
no, so they'd like to do something like 808 where they build something from scratch. Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
But whether it's a single family or 2 family, that, you know, whatever their
Yeah.
business is, they have no problem doing single families. They do that all the time. So we could put a couple of single families or 2 families, depending on what's allowable on the lots type of property. So those are areas that we had talked about. So I can reach out to John to talk specifically about those that property on 3A to see what's buildable and what isn't. And then we can get together as a committee. I remember, Mary, you had worked on it for a while, looking at all the lots that the town
Yeah.
had. We kind of came up with 2 of them. Mill Lane and Heather Drive, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll take a look at the property to see what's available to use it for. There's a couple of other properties in town that,
Can I just go back to Pond Street? You know, that, for me, that may be a place for a cluster thing where there's 3 or 4 small houses that, you know, are around a common driveway. I think with that busy, dangerous intersection, you know, we might want something that's, if we can set it kind of off and a little more exclusive with fences and stuff. You know, if people have children and stuff, I'm just worried about that corner. So, you know, I'm wondering if that's some kind of a cluster development we could think of with, you know, some smaller houses that are around, you know, like a common driveway, and, you know, maybe we'd get more bang for our buck. And as I said, for me, it would be a safety issue that, you know, people would be closer together, and, you know, so there might be less likely for nefarious individuals to, you know, decide that was a place to.
Are
Yeah.
you talking for like habitat or for a
I
development?
don't know in general. I just mean the design of the property versus 2 single family houses. Maybe looking at something like, is it what's Kimball or something up near Walgreens, where those houses are, you know, all part of a condo thing, and
Oh,
they're
Kendall Village, yeah.
Kendallville, yeah. I'm just saying, for me, you know, I think this may be an opportunity to get a little more density without, you know, without a lot of, without, you know, negative impacts. But for me, it would be a positive impact of equal, the density would provide a little more protection for the families. And, you know, I worry about kids on that, you know, in a single family house on that corner, that's all.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you'd have to try to come in from Pond Street. Plus, I think the state makes it almost impossible to access, although it does have access now because of being the business, you know, it has
Yeah.
like, but I know the state's like.
Yeah.
Really hard to work with on that.
just about every private residence on 3A, they're set back off the road pretty far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my guess is there's a setback there, but
Yeah, because of just drainage and everything else.
Everything else, yeah, and it's a state highway. But I think John's Car Care is the only one that's close to the edge of the road, you know? I don't,
Yeah,
everything
probably
else,
was that an old gas station or something?
it
Probably
was, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
had to have been. I don't know. It just does seem like there's a lot of wetlands there. I doubt you could get too many houses on that, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
Well, we'll find out from the
But
building
you could
inspector what's
probably
there.
They might be able
Yeah.
to do like what they did in Hingham, where they put 2 colonials on that, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, one sort of towards the front and one a little further back
yeah.
on Whiting Street.
Did you see that they've recently announced, there's a sign there saying that a pig farm is gonna open up? Can you imagine?
A pig farm where?
At the Habitat houses. Yeah. I saw a sign a couple of months ago. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah.
Like,
Future home of whatever. Awful.
oh boy, I don't know. Would Hingham allow a pig farm? I doubt it.
I don't know. Maybe it was a joke. I just was, like I said, I was driving by and was like horrified. So
Yeah, I hadn't noticed that, but
anyway, moving along.
yeah.
Well,
All
the
right.
first step is to see what's buildable on there. And then, you know, maybe it's, you know, maybe you're only allowed to have one structure and it becomes a convenience store, you know, I don't know what the answer is. I just know that if it's buildable, when we transfer to the trust, then the trust could sell it to a developer and the developer would go, you know, get his plans. But obviously the affordable housing element would be great to have as part of that. So I will do that. There are other lots in town that we can talk about. I just wanted to get this one going. I'll check with the gentleman on Beechwood and see what we want to do there. And of course, with Habitat will keep us busy for the next couple of months.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you have anything else on any other sites or any ideas of that you want
I
us
don't know.
to.
You know, is Wayne still kicking around? Is he?
Yes, he is. So
So I think he's been like clearing some land on Beechwood, and then is that where he's thinking? That he needs a
I cannot confirm or deny that's the lot,
My brain's like,
This,
but he
this
got
is public.
I'm not writing this down. Oh, we better stop because we're on line. Okay. Okay.
all I know is things are on hold on that particular property because he trimmed too many trees and got in trouble.
Oh,
So
yeah. Someone behind me on Bates Lane did the same and got in trouble.
yeah, so conservation went over there and told him to stop chopping the cherry tree. So
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
yeah, so that's a possible site for us to take a look at. The
Be
town
good.
owns a sliver of land next to it that when added to it becomes a buildable lot.
It'd be a good
Hmm.
spot, actually.
And then there's some land on Pine Ridge that we kind of want to do the same thing with.
I thought
Um,
his idea way back when we were kicking that around for like small houses that were not big A affordable, small A affordable.
Yeah.
Really makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, we talked about the 40R model, which is something like, I thought it was something like 800 to 1200 square feet or 800 to 1100 square feet on 40R. I forget what it was.
Yeah.
Talked about doing that and putting that type.
I really think that would be the thing he should look at there.
Yeah, Yeah, that would be ideal. So even on the Esposito property, if we had, you know, that bungalow type of housing cluster, whether it's there or elsewhere in town,
Yeah.
that would be
I,
nice.
I just think that Esposito lot, I don't know, I might be wrong, but my gut tells me it's a tricky one to do. You know?
Yeah, yeah, the wetlands, that's not a straight square.
Yeah,
So,
And the Pine Ridge ones, you might run into a lot of ledge, but you
yeah,
know, work around that, I think.
yeah. I asked him about some of the other lots that he has. He's still thinking through some of them. In the village, it talked about putting 16 units in behind, the bagel shop lot that's there in Vias. And I think there was an issue with the culvert that would drop it down to maybe 10 or 12 instead. So that's something that we want to revisit with him.
Yeah, well, you attempted to do something with the culvert at one point, but didn't get
Correct. Yeah.
the grant,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So we have to kind of revisit that with him, see what he wants to do.
But he sold the Bia building, right, to Brian.
He did. And then there's
He
still the
retained-
property
he retained
behind
the
it.
lot? Did he retain the lot behind, or did he sell that too? Don't know. I don't know.
So
just remember, this is all
Yeah.
public, it's not,
Yeah.
Okay,
so
we don't need to talk about this.
the lot is in discussion for, you know, being able to build affordable housing units with
Okay.
retail on the first floor, apartments. But the culvert issue came up again in conversation, so we know that the culvert's going to have repairs to it based on what's happening at the front where the gas station is.
Yeah.
So the culvert goes right down there where that sidewalk is to the town parking lot and then cuts across over to the Sawchuck property, if you will.
Yeah.
Takes kind of like a right-hand turn.
Oh, okay.
So we're not sure how far back we can redo that culvert. So that's the question. And then once you can do that, then I think the new units at the gas station, new units behind the town, then you've got kind of a lot more lively village, if you will. Of resident retail.
So the One Pleasant Street is definitely condos, staying condos, right?
Hasn't changed. It hasn't changed that I know. Cassandra, you haven't heard from anybody there, right?
No, I haven't.
You must be moving forward with something because it looked pretty clean. The lot looked pretty clean when I got my hair cut the other day, so.
That'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see how he figures to market those.
Yeah, it still hasn't been approved for sewer yet, so.
Hmm,
oh,
interesting.
So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. And I
Beth,
haven't heard,
how the harbor condos going, do you know?
how's the harbor?
The
Have
harbor condos, are they selling or?
They've sold a few, but nobody really knows. They're very closed mouth about how many they've sold and what's going
Okay.
on. They finally put them on the MLS though. They hadn't had them on there. Just recently put them on the lower
Okay.
end ones. So I think they've sold a couple of those across the street.
Oh,
It's all coming along. I don't know when they'll ever finish Atlantica. They're on a slower schedule than most. So,
And the Roy House just came back on the market for 15 million.
oh,
wow.
it dropped by 2 million.
Yeah,
buy the-
Frank has it. Frank Neer just put it on.
So has everyone had a turn posting that house or what?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, that's exciting. Yeah, the front gate was open the other day, so I thought maybe,
Something's going on.
yeah. I'd wander in and make them an offer.
Good for you, Paul.
Yeah,
It's
I think, you know, I'm anxious for the property on the harbor to kind of finish up on the outside primarily because that's going to be open space to the town all around the harbor, complete to the other side. So it'd be kind of nice to be able to walk and around the harbor, if you will, and have it actually open all the way around. It's going to be nice, especially I doubt it'll be anytime soon for the parade, but while you're standing down there, you'll be able to see there's going to be that open green space behind the memorials and all that stuff that you're going to be able to walk around. So
Yeah, right now it's hard to tell that, but.
yeah, it's all fenced in. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I
right
think that
now-
will make a difference, 'cause a lot of people are like, it's just blocking the whole harbor, but I think that's because of the construction mostly, yeah.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's gonna block, and it's as, it's just, it's allowable. It went through planning board. There's nothing anybody can do. We should just learn to live with it, because it is what it is.
I think it's taking some getting used to, for a
Yeah,
lot of people.
Yep.
And it's bigger
Yeah.
than, higher than people envision.
Yeah, my whole thing is it's not that's the property I'm not angst about. It's Atlantica, it's like if
Yeah.
that
Watching
just
that fall into the ocean is just.
if that just stayed a full restaurant and bar, then there'd be a
We
lot of
got-
people would come to the harbor, but
Yeah,
I
we
don't
all
know.
miss that. Everyone says the same thing, and why? If the Campbells had been allowed to buy it, it would have been the best thing ever,
I know, yeah.
He was such
Yeah,
a.
between the Salt House and Atlantica, it was always a happening spot.
Yeah.
And then you
Even if
could go out for a walk after dinner down around the condos,
Yeah,
and there could be an ice cream store down there. I don't know, but
but that guy hasn't seemed to do anything with it. I mean, I'm hearing these
No.
various plans, but I haven't seen anything. It just looks like
yeah, I've seen the plans.
you
It's,
have.
yeah, because they came to sewer with them. It's going to be divided
he-
into.
You doing little shops or something? That's what I heard.
It is, yes, something like I want to say 3. There's like one main one where Atlantica was on the left-hand side of the building. Then there's going to be a breezeway that goes down to the water, like a hallway breezeway. Then there's going to be 1 or 2 shops on the right-hand side of the building. There's supposed to be a big boat dock that's going to be put in there at some point to where people could come in. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, it's a interesting concept. It looked nice.
Really? Yeah.
We were told Seaberg Coffee was going to move in.
I heard that too. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. But yeah, so those are the updates on the properties until I, come up with a few more. What I am going to do though is I'm going to share my screen real quick. I know that Mary is not in front of a computer, but we will describe it to her.
Oh, that's okay. I'm sorry.
No problem.
I'm playing with my computer as we speak to try to get it working, but,
Okay, so
oh, I see it.
this is the affordable housing, the previous charge, which was done in 2020. And so Lauren originally had a letter detailing stuff that I don't have a copy of that letter. I don't know, Cassandra, if you still have it or not. She was writing a letter to the select board, and that's what I was trying to find to make changes to, and I couldn't find it. I remember getting it from her at one point because she had it flip-flopped at the last paragraph in her letter about the number of people. But this is what's on the town website, the one that we had updated for 2020. The original one was 2016. So basically, I'm changing this that says the committee will be advisor to the select board, reporting their activity and progress. It used to say quarterly, and we've never done that. So I'm changing it to annually, and seeking counsel from the board as necessary. That allows us to go to them anytime we want to. And I'm changing it from a minimum of 7 to 5, a minimum
Great.
of voting members. And I'm eliminating the planning board seat and only having the Housing Authority and Elder Affairs, and then leaving the other 3 seats to be open at large, citizens open at large. So that kind of helps us out there. So
Yeah, really.
I did add something to Cassandra's role here. So that is because we're getting rid of the planning board seat because they said they're too busy and they have, too many things and places to be. So I put on here that she shall represent information to the committee, any updates from the planning board relative to affordable housing. Is that something you're comfortable with, Cassandra? Is that just means that if during any of the planning board meetings, somebody comes in with, units and they want them to be affordable, then you would let us know.
Yes, sorry, my mouse froze for a minute and I couldn't unmute myself. Yes, that's fine. My only recommendation would be that the title be changed from planning director to town planner, since that is my official title.
Oh, town planner. Okay.
But otherwise, that's completely fine.
Okay.
Great.
Yep.
And I
then
just looked and have a draft from when I was doing it.
you do have a draft?
I do not.
Oh, okay.
It is not in the folder, so I'm not sure what happened to that draft, but
Okay.
it does not exist anymore.
Okay. Oh, no problem. Yeah, I couldn't remember. I looked on my Laura Lindy emails and then I forgot she got married, so I wasn't sure what name it would have been under prior. So anyway, I just took this and redlined it. Might be easier than to try to explain to the select board what we're doing.
Looks good.
Now, the other thing I took off was at the bottom of it, I said the committee shall recognize annually or reorganize annually. I took out this choosing officers, chairman, vice chairman, secretary, no officer shall serve more than 3 consecutive years in the same role. And I just put on there, the committee shall reorganize annually in accordance with Town of Cohasset bylaws. And the reason I did that is the bylaws require that all committees in town once a year choose a chairman, and it doesn't restrict it to consecutive terms or anything like that, or non-consecutive terms. So then it leaves it up to us to vote as often as we want to for chairman, vice chairman, or secretary. It doesn't bind us from, because if there's only 5 people, then we're gonna just keep voting and going
Yeah.
back around. So, we don't need a vice chairman or a secretary, but we just need someone to take the minutes. We can keep vice chairman and secretary as well. That's not a problem to keep them. I just don't want to be bound by it if we're, having trouble getting a quorum or having trouble getting people to do stuff. So, so I know once a year you're supposed to vote for chairman on every board and committee in the town. So that is a requirement in the bylaws, and the bylaws trump any of these documents, that other committees and boards have, charters, or like elder affairs, we call them bylaws, which Chris Senior said are not bylaws. They're just rules and regulations for elder affairs. Sewer commission, we have rules and regulations, that kind of thing. So that's the only requirement in the town bylaws is to choose a chair, and it doesn't limit consecutive terms. So I just wanted to leave that part of it out because we've always had a history of trying to figure out who wants to be chairman, who can take meeting notes, so and it's up to you guys if you wanted me to leave it the way it was, or I can, well, whatever your recommendations are.
I think it makes sense, to simplify it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just if we just kept it simple or left it vague, that gives us a lot more wiggle room throughout the course of time.
Yeah, then we're not operating in violation.
Right.
Gives us flexibility.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So that's what I have here, and then I will. Do you think they'll want a red line, Cassandra, or should I just have this new version sent to Tracy to bring?
I
in
would
front of-
recommend doing a red line, that way they can see the changes, and then once adopted, we can just go to
Okay.
whatever is adopted.
Okay. Terrific. And then, so I'll send a clean one and the red line. Okay. When I do that, I will put in my email to her that what we want to make a change to is adding Fred Cohen to the housing seat and then Susan to the open seat.
Cool.
And kind of get that through. I told Fred he can attend anytime. He doesn't have to be, waiting to be appointed. He can attend the meetings for sure. So we'll see what we can do. So I'll send this off probably tomorrow, and I'll change the title and change the date at the bottom.
Great.
Would
Thank
you mind just CCing me when you send that, Paul? That way I can put a copy into our files.
Sure.
Thank you.
I don't know if I need to copy the town clerk. Usually I just send stuff to Tracy. And then once it's voted on, then it goes to the town clerk.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Okay. All right. So that's what I have.
So you're sending it to Tracy first for review before it goes to the select board?
Well, she takes everything that's going to be presented to the select board. So she's supposed to get all town-wide committee and board changes together. And the select board said they wanted to spend one night and just vote on everybody.
Okay.
So
that's coming up, that meeting probably.
yeah, so I did my elder affairs thing online because Rich said we had to go through and reapply saying reappointment.
Was
So I did.
Was that all of us or were you running out?
There's 3 people.
I think I already did recently.
Yeah, I think it was myself and it was Taffy as well. So, and I can't remember who the other person was. Yeah. So I gotta make sure she got that. I did that like a week ago, so I'm kind of hoping she still has it. So
Great.
so
Okay.
anything
How did you get Fred on board?
actually it was Taffy's group at Housing Authority.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So yeah, she reached out to me saying, Fred was coming on board, and I'm like, Fred disappeared for like the last 8 or 10 years.
I know all of a sudden that name was like a blast from the past, and I'm like, wow.
I
Yeah,
bought my first house from him.
I know.
He and Chris Ford owned this house in Hull, and it was a rental property for them, and then decided to sell it. And of course, Chris had Hallmark 100 at the time, and Ed Mulvey was the bank.
Oh,
So
oh
was
God. That was a trio, a triumvirate, huh?
oh my God, yeah. So Chris Ford came in front of Sewer last week, I think it was. He's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Hey." He's like, "The good old days." I said, "I know. I was a pallbearer at Ed Mulvey's funeral."
Well, I have an even older story than that. I don't know if people knew my brother was broke his neck when he was 18 and was a quadriplegic, and he finally got a job at Social Security in Boston. I think it was in his 20s, and Fred Coed had at that point had a little painting company, so he got a contract to paint at Harbor Towers. So my brother's van would roll off in the morning, with this motley crew of people, including my brother. I make no apologies. And they dropped my brother off at the Federal Building, and then they go, and Fred was delighted because he had a handicap plate and park. He could, Fred could park anywhere instead of having, a commercial plate or anything. And they had a blast. They did it for a long time. And
Oh, I love Barry. That's a great story.
One of the funniest stories. We have so many stories about, my mother used to say his friends are good to him, not for him. And we have so many stories of these rowdy guys, building a ramp at the Legion to get him in, and, getting a call at, midnight saying he's done at the Legion and someone needs to come pick him up. I mean, just, there's so many stories. I would love for somebody to put it together because they are just great.
Oh, that I can picture it. That's hilarious. Yeah.
Yep, Fred and Fred and the group.
Oh gosh. Well, we better be careful because we might be digressing to a lot of
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe we shouldn't tape the first meeting.
Oh, well, yep.
Funny.
All right, well, do I have a motion to approve the minutes that you sent out?
They look great. Thank you. Motion to approve.
Okay,
I
all in
second.
favor?
Yeah.
Aye. Got
All
it.
right. That one was down to the wire yesterday afternoon. I'm like, she's done.
Oh, awesome. So, well, I don't know if we have anything else from anybody?
Yes,
So our next meeting we're saying is June 18th.
18th, yes.
Okay.
So if we could just let Susan know.
Okay, well, I think I put it in the minutes, right?
Okay,
That's
But-
the Rich Hines birthday eve, so.
Oh,
All
my
right.
husband's birthday is the 17th, so I will have,
That's funny.
okay, so I think that will,
Great.
awesome.
okay.
Well, thank you, everyone. So do I have a
Thank
motion
you.
to adjourn?
So moved.
All righty then.
Oh, you know what I did? I got to change. I put the next meeting is May 14th.
Oh,
No,
okay.
wait a minute, I didn't. That's old. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I did it. Okay.
No worries.
You
I'm
got it.
good.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice. Take care.
Thank-
We'll see you.
Okay.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you,
All right, bye,
Cassandra.
Thank you.